I'm a big believer in public space. I really think, particularly in our cities, that's why we live here. We live here because of the relationship we have with the other citizens in our city. And there are so few spaces where we can meet our neighbors and get to know them. And it's truly an enriching part, should be an enriching part of our lives. So my goal with the street fair was to validate this block down here, to validate that we could close this for a whole day and evening, and it didn't disrupt the traffic, it didn't disrupt the neighborhood, it didn't disrupt anything. It validated that this space can be closed pretty much at any time. So we started off with yoga, and lots of people came out and did yoga, and a significant number of them hadn't done yoga before. Then I wanted to bring in Tai Chi, because I know a lot of us have tried or wanted to try Tai Chi. We had lots of booths that were neighborhood, craftsmen. We had booths that were promoting their civic cause. And we offered booths to these people at a very, very low rate so that they could introduce the neighborhood to these other options that are in our neighborhood.
Button making was a huge, huge hit. I can't tell you, I even got 2 personally made for me, which was very exciting, by fellow merchants' children. Face painting. We had clowns that were around, which were phenomenal. Button making, eating, really just the community coming together, socializing, getting to know one another, and reconnecting.
It was great for our business as well, and great for our artists that we support. We have regulars now that come in from that day. Oh, we didn't know you were here, now we know that you're here.
End of the river, linger no longer, who you was once. Thank you.
Well, it was just wonderful to see the street empty of cars. That to me just gladdens my heart. It was wonderful to see crowds of people gathered together.
It was open, there was no cars, people were just hanging out on the streets, there was tables, chairs. It was just kind of a free-for-all.
It completely changed the tempo and the feeling. It made the businesses actually stand out, which I think is a huge value to the community. The pedestrians weren't fighting with the vehicles. There weren't horns honking. It just, we all felt a lot closer.
We have so little public space. So the concept is, by kicking the cars out, the people come out of the houses and they occupy that space. We've done this with Sunday Streets. New York has done a wonderful job of doing this with moving the car lane over to make it a pedestrian and bike path. And what it does is it brings people out of the buildings, and all of a sudden they know their neighbors, and they become friends. My hope in a street fair is that you provide activities which cause people that may pass on the street but never know each other to all of a sudden be sitting next to someone, or for some reason be thrown together. And all of a sudden this barrier that we have living in a city breaks down, and they start to talking to each other.
The street fair was a great idea. I think it's very good change for the neighborhood, and brought people from everywhere to see all the commercial stores around the neighborhood. I think it's wonderful.
My hope for the future is that we can find a way that, it doesn't become such a huge burden financially to put it on. I'd like to see it happen more than once. I'd like to see this space activated on a regular basis. I would love to see, weekly or monthly evenings where we just close it for a few hours and we bring in music and we have people dance.
Well, I would love to do it a couple times a year.